everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Homeshow Unlimited. And for today's episode, we have a very special guest with us. He is a public accountant, accredited tax practitioner, and president of ABBA Outsourcing International. Please help me welcome Mr. Reginald Bayron. Hi, Sir Reggie.
Hello. Good morning, Lex. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so today, sir, we will be discussing about the different taxes of professionals, taxes that we professionals have to pay. Like, for example, ako as a real estate broker or lawyers, mga doctors, because we have to file our own taxes, right? Unlike employees na their employer will already deduct the tax from their salary. So for us professionals, we have to do our own filing. And a lot of or not maybe a lot, but some professionals don't know this na we have to file our own taxes. I know a lot of agents na they're not aware of this, that this is their responsibility. So what are the taxes that professionals have to pay?
Yeah. So thank you, Lex, for this invitation. So I'll answer that question. So commonly for individual taxpayers, particularly the professionals, they should file and pay. No? So file and pay, of course. We have this business tax. So in the business tax, we have either you're a non-VAT or a VAT registered. So yung non-VAT, commonly known as percentage tax, we will pay that. With the Create Bill, it's only 1% of the gross receipts. And we will file this one quarterly. So yung deadline is every 25th after the quarter. And if you are a VAT registered, it means your revenue or receipts is more than 3 million already. So you will file a monthly VAT. So the deadline of that is every 20th of the month. And another tax would be the income tax, of course. This can be filed quarterly, and we have that for the annual, we call that annual ITR, income tax return. So for the quarterly, our deadline is 45 days after the quarter. So I'm focusing on the professionals, okay? So 45 days after the quarter. And for the annual, that's 105 days, or usually the known date is April 15. Okay? And another thing, if you have rentals or employees, you should file a withholding tax. So withholding tax will be remitted on a monthly basis. So the deadline is every 10th of the month. So these are the three major taxes for professionals to file and pay. Okay. And in addition, with the implementation of TRAIN law, professionals or individual taxpayers have an option to pay 8% only of the gross receipts per quarter, and there's no need to pay a percentage tax. So that's a good news for professionals. So this is only applicable if you're not VAT registered or your revenue does not exceed 3 million pesos. So hopefully that answered you.
Okay, so there are three major taxes that professionals have to pay for, and it can either be paid monthly, quarterly, and there's also an annual tax.
Yeah. That's
okay.
right.
What's the process for filing for these taxes? Do you need to go to BIR, or can it be done online?
Okay, especially with our situation right now, with the pandemic, the BIR enhance or their capability of doing remotely. So basically, there are three major processes in BIR. We call that RFP: register, file, and pay. So if you are a new business, you need to register. Then after that, on a monthly or quarterly basis or annual, you should file. And if there's a tax due, then you need to pay. So you can file it manually. You have that option. You go to BIR, and usually it use the electronically using the EBIR forms. But there are certain transactions that you need to have a physical visit. But for those mentioned taxes earlier, you can file it electronically using EBIR forms. Then pay it with the accredited banks. Okay, not all banks, but some of the banks here in Cagayan or we can pay it. And also you can pay, this good news, you can pay it through GCash or PayMaya.
So is this a new way to pay for the taxes?
Yeah. Especially right now, we do Shopee, we do Lazada through GCash.
Yeah, that's good because it's very convenient. And GCash is also very easy to open.
Yes,
you just
exactly.
need a valid ID, one valid ID lang and a number.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so next question is about VAT because for us professionals, our VAT threshold is 3 million. So what's more financially advantageous for us professionals? Should we need to go for VAT or non-VAT? Especially since I know that I have broker friends who not refuse, but for example, if their threshold will almost reach 3 million, then they will not collect the commission, so they will not become VAT registered taxpayer. So what's your advice on this?
Yeah, that's a common concern of professionals. So as long as your income will not exceed 3 million pesos, I recommend to register as non-VAT. First of all, so that you can avail of that option, I said earlier, the 8% income tax without paying the 1% percentage tax. Now, the problem if you are a VAT registered, especially for professionals, because you don't have much purchases with VAT, right? Unlike if you are a trading business, you have inventory or you have purchases with VAT, so you can deduct that with your sales or revenue. But for professionals, it will lessen your income because I think the broker will not accept to add 12% for the VAT in the billing. So it means you shoulder the 12%. So it becomes if you have 100%, so your income, if you are not VAT registered, then when you are VAT registered already, then 100% less 12%, so your income is 88% only. So it's an disadvantage on your part, especially for financial aspect. So yeah, that's a common concern.
Yeah, so your advice is to go for non-VAT because we don't have a lot of expenses compared to other businesses.
Yes, exactly.
Also, another common thing that agents do in my profession, I don't know with other professionals, but some agents, although they are licensed agents, licensed at PRC, they don't use their own receipts in issuing the commission because I don't know, maybe they don't like to file at BIR, or maybe it's just because it's more convenient for them to use their broker's receipt. So what are the advantages and disadvantages in using your own receipt?
Yeah, well, that's I agree with you, Lexa. This is a common practices. Okay, not only for brokers, agents, but other professionals. Well, using or declaring the receipts will make their practice legal, right? So they will have a ITR or income tax return that they can use it for applying for a loan in the bank or in Pag-ibig. So if they will issue receipts because they will declaring income. So actually, the disadvantage of this practice is on the part of the broker because they cannot claim the commissions given to the agents, which resulted in higher tax exposures or liabilities. So in the end, kawawa yung broker.
So kawawa yung nagpahiram ng resibo.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question. What is your advice to professionals with regards to filing taxes?
Okay, so I think this is the last question, right? So to avoid problems with unnecessary penalties, you should declare correctly, rightfully, and of course, register, file, and pay on time. So to conclude this part, maybe Lex, I want to share a biblical verse about taxes. So that's in Matthew 22, 17 to 21. So they asked Jesus, what is your opinion? It is right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? They're trapping Jesus. But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, you hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used for paying the tax. So they brought him a denarius, and he asked them, whose image is this? And whose inscription? Caesar's, they replied. Then he said to them, so give back to Caesar what is due to Caesar, and to God what is to God. So
Yes, well said. That's
yeah.
a familiar
Yeah.
familiar verse in the Bible. So where can the viewers find you? For example, they need your services, so you can assist them in filing for their taxes. How can they contact you?
Yeah, actually, in our professions, for the accountants, we have these ethical practices that we're not allowed to advertise our service, no, for the practitioners. For contact me, maybe I can give my contact details through you, Lex. No? So that
Okay, so
you
they can
have
just contact me and I'll just
Yeah.
refer you
Yeah.
to them.
So that's best, I think.
Okay, so thank you so much for Sir Reggie for your time and all the information and wisdom. Years and years. How many years have you been practicing as an accountant?
Yeah, in the public practice, I think almost 5 years, and before that, I've been in commerce and industry sector, almost 6 years also.
So 11 years na. So you've been an
Yeah, more or
accountant
less.
for 11
Yeah.
years already. So you have 11 years worth of experience that you can share to your clients.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
thank you so much, Sir Reggie,
Yeah.
for your time. I
Welcome.
learned a lot from you today.
Yeah. Welcome, Lex. Thank you for this
Thank you.
invitation. Okay. So,
Bye.
bye. God bless.
God bless.